Check this out.
Welcome to BLPA Big Show. Hockey sports, life for the adult athletes. Yeah. Powered by the Beer League Players Association.
Better follow me.
Follow us at BLPA Big Show on every social media outlet. Follow the crew on Twitter at Nicker Jones and Trish at Trish Dangle.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us live on all of our stuff. Not even just YouTube this week, all of them. We're just, as I said, let's go all of them. Hope everyone's having a good week. So good week to you guys. Trish, Kara, how are you guys doing?
So good. So happy to be live everywhere this week.
Are you? Are you really happy, or are you just saying that?
Thrilled.
Okay.
So thrilled.
Okay.
I thought you just said I'm so happy to be alive everywhere, and I was like, oh, where else are you? Where else are you alive, Trish? What's happening here?
Mostly here. Mostly right here.
Well, I want to let you know that
cool.
I'm glad you're alive too. Why don't you hit the folks? Hit the folks with social media info and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Follow us everywhere. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. Twitter at the BLPA Big Show. Nicker Jones, Trish Dangle, Cara DeBella. Super easy. Find us, follow us, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, CastBox, Stitcher, everywhere. Subscribe so you don't miss any of this nonsense. Subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss any of that nonsense. That's probably where you're going to see Nick eat blue cheese eventually when we get enough listens.
Hey, eventually. And hey, listen, I'm keeping an open mind. It might be good, it might not, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to go into it with an open mind, not with my preconceived ranch notions. So lots of things to talk about today. We're going to talk about a little NHL stuff with Keith Yandel and this whole Ironman streak. We're going to talk about some Uber stories. We're going to talk about some tipping stories. And then we have some Would You Rathers and some Fight Liney cuts. But before we get there, what's up with you, Kara?
I'm really happy because I'm drinking wine. So cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching us.
Well, you did say that you needed liquid courage last week. So, and things got a little crazy last week. They got a little out of hand.
You know, yeah, this is my first glass right now. So I'm coming in a little less hot than I was last.
I mean, I think that just means you should chug it and start on your second.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you are going to be so good at the draft experiences, but you replace wine with beer. Oh, you're going to kill it. Mm-hmm. Kill it. Speaking of draft,
have you seen my TikTok? Literally, like all I do is drink out of stuff.
I mean, I'm concerned as a friend, but as the show host, I love it. I just wanted to keep going.
You hear that? You're friends now, Kara.
Oh my god!
I thought we were BFFs, to be honest with you.
We are. I already like my mom knows. Like
not BFFEs yet. Oh, your mom knows for sure. That's
my mom.
For sure.
Okay.
Well, I found her Instagram. I found her Instagram. We're chatting. We're DMing each other, so no big deal. But let me just let you guys know about something huge that's going on. Huge. The BLPA Bash, our first team tournament experience. It's fucking going off right now. Like we were like, okay, we got to get to 18. We got to get to 18 teams. We're gonna throw a big badass raging barbecue drinking hockey tournament. And we basically had to say, all right, we're cutting it off at 26 teams. Like we just had to cut it off because we can't get any more ice. Well, we maybe could at a different place, but we can't get any more ice, and we're there. The only thing we're missing, one female team. We need one more women's team to make it happen. We need one more, and if we do that, we're going to be sold out. It's going to be fucking rad.
I'm super excited. I don't know how people didn't sign up sooner.
Well, it's different. It's new. The pandemic, I get it. But a lot of people want to play. And here's the deal. It's not even a ton of Columbus people. There's like 4 or 5 registered from Columbus. The rest of them are from, let's see, we have you guys coming from your area, the Chicago Tax. We got 3 or 4 teams coming from Chicago. We got the Hockey Sauce Kid team. Then we got 3 or 4 teams coming from Buffalo, a couple from Pittsburgh. So it's couple Cleveland, so it's going to be fucking rad. I'm pretty fucking excited about it, with a capital fuck, to be frank.
Excited to have a beer with you.
Love that for you.
Well, moonshine.
I was just thinking, I was like, damn, I wanna come.
Yeah.
Kara, you are invited. You'll have to sneak in because the travel restrictions from Canada, but you're more than welcome.
Yeah, that should be pretty easy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What if you check her into a second hockey bag?
What if she wears a fake mustache and just says she's American?
Is a mustache the thing that makes you
Yeah,
American?
I think so. A fake mustache and just say, look at us. We just won a gold medal at the World Juniors. Way to go, USA. And you're guaranteed to come in. I'm not saying denounce your Canadian-ism stuff. I'm just saying if you can sneak in, we can find a way. We can find a way. So
just yell freedom and run across the border.
I was going to say, I'm not really sure if now is the time of, the year life really in general to be pretending to be American.
Hey, listen,
not wrong.
I'm not. Hey, I'm happy because I can get over there and host hockey tournaments. Can't play any hockey in arenas here. So, I mean, you got to, no wonder we're the best hockey playing nation in the world right now. We're the only nation that can play. So that's just the way it goes.
So what happened actually, Nick, now that you mention it, what happened at that rink in Calgary that they were pouring sand on the outdoor rink?
Yeah, let me go ahead and retract that right now. I mean, I was very happy that we got people going. I like engagement. I wasn't doing it just for the engagement. I was actually appalled that this was happening. And I'm like, here, place for us to skate, to be outdoors, to have a little bit of fun. And you got these dickholes, these butt babies out here pouring sand on outdoor rinks. All right. And it pissed me off. So I posted and everyone was mad. Everyone was angry. But then come to find out, it wasn't actually a place where people are supposed to skate. It's one of like our storm drains, like drainage ditches where water does collect. There's a ton of them in Calgary, but the water is moving underneath. So it's not really safe. It gets really thin, brittle, especially when it gets warm like it has been. And a kid fell through a couple days earlier at one of these places just outside of the city limits in Chestermere. And they were putting sand on them so people wouldn't skate on the storm drain. So completely legitimate reason. They weren't being anti-Canadian. They weren't folding up shop because they're not gold medal winners and just saying, hey, we don't play hockey up here in Canada anymore. It wasn't anything like that. It was basically they're trying to keep people safe. And I'm all about keeping people safe, to be honest.
Yeah.
100%.
I was surprised
I didn't really read it
because yeah, me neither.
Just
I was surprised
you read
that,
everything you
though,
post.
There's a lot of ODRs that are open here.
Mhm.
Like I've honestly been playing hockey like twice a week on them. So, and a lot of them, they took the nets off to discourage like games and stuff, but now we're allowed gatherings out here again. So there's nets everywhere and like
only 10.
Busy. It's been awesome.
Only 10, but I'm
really
super
great.
stoked. It's just been really warm the last few days, so I've been worried about the quality of the ice because I got to take little Coop asked for.
It's trash.
Is trash. Little Coop asked for skates for Christmas, so he got his first skates.
Legs, like just because you hit like massive fucking divots, no matter who you are, you're gonna eat shit, and
happens.
people are falling in the corners. I got a puck. Like somebody fucking tossed a puck into my shin. I'm like, okay.
Hey, do you ever wear
shinny? But
do you wear full gear? Because I'll go out on the ODR and wear shins because I'm not taking a puck. There's not any pain that you can keep off.
That's like an unwritten rule.
Well, okay. Well, I'm not even Canadian, so I don't know those.
Keep the puck low.
I don't know those rules, so I just wear my shins because I don't give a fuck about.
I mean,
if it's a real rule, write it.
Absolutely chirped, but.
And then I would say, okay, well, let's play. Like, got it out. I mean, Kara chirps me all day, every day in podcasts. So this doesn't bother me about these shins, right? Sometimes I'll even wear a helmet, because I'm just trying to stay safe. Got to protect this melon.
First.
So outside of the BLPA Bash in Columbus, we have one coming up in Laurel, Maryland, DC in May. So we're about to kick that guy off with registrations. And then we have our drafts. We have Omaha, which Trish will also be at. And then we have Ann Arbor. And we have Vegas just got moved. Little problem there. So we moved that to April and Colorado Springs. So we do have some tournaments coming up and I'm super stoked about them. Right?
It's going to be so much fun.
So
how stoked are you, Nick?
Super stoked. Rad. All right.
There it is.
So Kara, I know
I heard that you had a date last night.
Me? No, I'm married.
Yeah. It was so wildly uneventful, honestly. It was like the most bland date of all time. Like it was fine. It was fine.
Okay,
except I started talking about hockey. No. I started talking about hockey and he like glazed over. He's a basketball guy. So I said stick handling. He's like, I don't know what that is. I was like, this isn't
I
gonna
feel like
go
a lot of sports, you just like if you know one sport, if you like sports, you like sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not like there's no hockey around here. Like this, we're near Chicago. Like it's Blackhawks country, and like here we are. You don't know what stick handling is.
But it is Bulls country too. Like it was Bulls country before it was Blackhawks country for sure, and Cubs before that.
Yeah,
and sometimes the White Sox. But here's my question: this wasn't on the the listeners say dump and change. If he doesn't know what stick handling is, dump and change. But that's a good question. What would it take for the single dudes out there? Like, what would be a good date to take you on? I mean, you guys are both single. You're both dating. You're both putting yourselves out there.
I don't know about putting myself out there, but I don't know. A good date is just make me laugh like the whole time. I don't care what we're doing. Just make me laugh. Like, I don't want to sit there and like have to pretend I'm having a good time, and don't force yourself onto me. Like there's guys that are like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, you're so cute when you look at me like that. It's like, shut up. Like that's not a real conversation. That's just garbage.
Well, and then you're just like, okay, what like baggage are you just trying to avoid and just continue over to me and just treat me like your girlfriend? Like, no.
Yeah. Like I don't want that.
Okay, so basically just make people laugh and be handsome. I mean, you can't be ugly.
Obviously be handsome. That's number one.
Yeah, handsome, number one, funny, number two. But I will say, okay, I went on a date today too. And like been talking to this guy on Hinge, and then we like exchanged numbers, whatever. Honestly, like the funniest dude, and like thinks I'm really funny, which obviously I very much appreciate. And like just like the best banter back and forth. And like that overrides like anything looks wise, really.
Yeah, but you went on a day date, so is it really a date? Like, aren't day dates reserved for like friend zone guys?
Well,
no.
I mean, I've been out of the game. I've been out of the game for a while, so I'm just asking.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You know what? I actually really appreciate if like a dude wants to see you in the day, because then it's not like he's just trying to take you home after.
Yeah. Well, and also if I can like go grab a coffee with you and have just as much fun as like if we're out at a bar drinking, then that's a really good sign.
Social lubricant, exhibit A, you can have a decent time with really anybody if you're knocking a couple cold ones back. You know what I mean? So if you're not really
interesting,
adding that to the mix, like, and you can have a good conversation, that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah.
Interesting. And well, I mean, I didn't know we were going to go into lifestyle dating, but I would like to hook cameras up to one of you guys when you go on a date, and then let me feed you guys lines through your earpieces, and then we can see. Okay,
done.
Cool.
Sign me up.
We can do that.
And we can. We can do it live, and the listeners can tell us what you should say to this guy. That would be pretty awesome. But
oh my God, hilarious.
But speaking of dating and maybe bad dates, you were asking about Netflix, and I said let's just talk about that on the podcast. Like what are you into on the Netflix side of things? Like what were you talking about earlier today?
I wasn't watching it on Netflix, but on Crave. I just finished the 2-part tiger documentary. Are we not talking about that? What's happening?
Well,
no, we can totally talk. So here's the thing. I think Crave is like super Canadian thing.
Oh,
it's like
all of our American.
It's American Hulu, basically.
I think it's on HBO Max.
I was gonna say it's definitely not just a Canadian thing. Like it's a Tiger Woods.
Yeah,
thing.
it's HBO.
I think Crave like as a network.
Yeah, in Canada it's on Crave. I don't know what it's on.
It's on HBO Max. I just want to let you know that the listeners are chiming in here with our dating stories, and they do want to have beer league dating. They do want to have cameras on dates, but someone mentioned global pandemic, and you're out here going on dates. So I'm just throwing it out there.
No, that's fair.
Okay. Yeah. You know, I was actually just about to mention that, and then we started talking about Netflix, but so the rules in the province that I live in are you can have social gatherings outside up to 10. So we went for a walk outside.
Yeah, I was an outdoor
we follow
as well.
We follow 100% of the rules around here. And if we don't,
yes, sir, we do.
And if we don't, we apologize, because we all have Canadian backgrounds here. So we say sorry a lot. And so we didn't really break the rules. And if we did, we're sorry, right? So
we're not sorry. We're not like sorry.
And
we're not sorry.
Sorry. And yeah, but anyway, yeah, Crave is basically a different version of Canadian Netflix. It allows us to have like HBO Max and a couple other things. But you mentioned the Tiger documentary. I saw that. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I promise I'll watch it, and we'll talk about that the next week.
Okay.
next week.
I have heard really good things about it, so I will.
Do you know what? Like, I was a little bit disappointed, and I saw some reviews that aligned with that from the first one, because like I was expecting almost the like the Last Dance situation earlier this year.
That was killer.
Michael Jordan, which was like unfucking believable.
Yep.
Like I was expecting more like following each tournament and like the lead up to it and like the training, and like I wanted to know about that. But what you'll learn, and I don't think I'm going to spoil anything for anybody here, but it's not like produced and put on by like Tiger and his team. It's actually all the people that he's hurt and that he's kind of like betrayed that are coming and talking about what they know about him from childhood until now. And these are people that have had relationships with him, been best friends with him, his old caddy that he just dropped like that.
Now
like,
I'm interested.
Fascinating.
Hey, like
I'm way more interested in that angle.
You mean like even like the babes that he was like jackhammering when he was married to Ellen or something? Oh boy. Okay, I can't wait to watch this now.
It's interesting because it humanizes him a little bit, and it makes like, I don't think there's any excuses for his behavior. I'll just put that out there. However,
it was a sex
like
act.
it's so true that like childhood and everything just like shapes people, and he's a very extreme version of like kind of living all these lives and stuff. But I really think everybody has demons, and like people just don't talk about it or whatever. And that's a whole other topic, whole other podcast. But yeah, very interesting.
Here's my problem.
To watch it.
I've been caught up in some Netflix shows, and I'm excited. I've been watching them, but now it seems like I've been in the wrong Netflix shows. And so now I'm super bummed that I've been wasting.
What have you been watching?
Okay, one of them is like like Night Stories from Tokyo about this midnight diner in Japan. And I only got hooked on that because it shows like the little preview, and it showed the hotel I stayed at, not the sex hotel in Japan, but another one in Shinjuku. And I'm like, oh, I got to watch this. And then I got into it, and it was like, wow, is this fucking real? And then I spent like this 40 minutes watching it. And then at the end, it's like in little things, it says, this is a work of fiction. But then I got hooked on this other show called Lupin. I think that's how you pronounce it. But it's basically like a rewrite of like this old like novel about a gentleman thief, a gentleman burglar, and like a master of disguise. And I started watching it, and it's the one where like you literally think, oh well, shit, I can't stop on this. I got to go to the next episode. And like in the last 2 nights, I've watched like eight episodes. And they're an hour a piece. So I spent a good chunk of time on this.
Ooh.
I would say everyone should watch it. Like, it's crazy. Like when the kid was little, his dad got framed by this rich person that had Marie Antoinette's necklace. And so he framed him for stealing it. Then the kid's dad hung himself in jail and then left clues that he was innocent. And so it's nuts. It's crazy. Here's the only kicker. It's all in French. And I don't speak French. I don't speak French. So,
yeah, but you can read.
I read a lot of subtitles, but when I'm watching these shows, I like to work on the computer. I cannot do that. So I'm basically cutting out all my after-hour work stuff, but it is a really, 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 really rad show. Everyone should check it out. So other than that,
what's it called again?
It's called Lupin, Lupin. Lupin.
Oh, I've seen that.
I saw because it said trending in Canada, and I was like, oh, I'm in Canada. Let's see if it trends with me. And it does. So
probably not available for me, but if it is, I'll check it out.
Well, we'll figure it out. I mean, there's other ways around it. We don't break the rules, and if we do, we apologize. So if we have to download it illegally, we'll do that. All right.
Is that our new tagline? We don't break the rules, and if we do, we apologize?
Yep, 100%. All right, let's actually talk about some hockey stuff people are going to be really, really, really super interested in. So I don't know how we got this topic on here. It just showed up. You guys are like, hey, we're going to talk about this. But we were talking about post-game meals and rink concession. What's on the docket for that?
Here's how this came about. So
hey, can I interrupt you 1 second?
No.
I want to show this. I got this. I found it. I thought this was.
Ooh.
These are the softball jerseys for. Like, I just thought this was I thought it looked really cool, and I have it right here. Yeah, like I was digging through some stuff because I had to print a bunch of shirts and I've got to get them all mailed out. I don't know if you can see in the background. I got them snake skin. They're hard to see. They're just hiding dangerously back there on my couch. So, all right, keep going.
They can stay back there. So we were talking about like favorite places to play, and Kara mentioned a rink with really good cinnamon buns, and it made me think about like all the rinks that I've had like French fries and poutine at, and how like great those were. Like rink fries are top tier French fries.
They can honestly be like 6.5 out of 10 French fries, but at a rink when you're cold and like you need that, they automatically are like an 8.1.
I'm just not playing at any rinks with concessions.
And you get that little wooden spork thing with them.
Like what rink are you playing at with concession? There's none in Calgary at the beer league games. There's no concession stands open here.
We don't have them for beer league games now. Yeah. I'm talking like when I was back in the day.
Oh, when you were young.
The day. Mm-hmm. Like I play at some rinks now that have like full restaurants and stuff. And I was like also curious because I have no idea. I've never played in Calgary. I don't know what your rinks look like there. The ones here and the ones back home had like little concession stands. So you'd get like bag of chips, whatever, French fries, little things like that. But the rinks here mostly like if they have something, it's a full restaurant. My home rink has like a small concession stand that has pretzels and popcorn and that kind of thing, but nothing crazy.
Pretzels with cheese sauce. Ooh,
mm-hmm.
I like. One of our listeners just said that too. Those pretzels with cheese are bomb. And I never played in rinks growing up. I played baseball, so we had the concession stand there. And the best part of the game, if we won, we got done. We did our little handshake. Good game. And then we took off sprinting, both teams, to the concession stand, and we lined up because we got free soda pop. Oh, man. And listen, you can't have, when you're a kid, you don't have just one soda pop. No, you hit them with I want the suicide. Mix every single soda together, and that's what we drink. 100%.
Swamp water.
Well, we call it suicides, but it was good.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know that as suicides, but okay.
Man, I love the ballpark when I was a little kid playing, and I remember like on tournament days, and you have to stay at the park, and if you caught foul balls, you took the foul ball back to the concession stand, and you got like a free bag of Big League Chew or some sunflower seeds.
That's cute.
Yeah, they should do that for hockey. Like in hockey, if a puck goes out of the thing, they should let a little kid run and get it and take it to the concession stand. That would be something for sure. That would be awesome. I support that. In Calgary, I mean, I know Winsport where Hockey Canada trains, and they have like 6 rinks there. They have a restaurant in there. I've never went to the restaurant for the hockey, but I've ate at their cafe just in between or when I was taking photos of the Flames. But most of the other rinks, like maybe one rink has a restaurant. East Twin has a restaurant at the top of it, but it's never open, and it's just a concession restaurant. And the one where Kara's women's league got to take over, lucky pieces of poop. They were supposed to have a restaurant there. No, Fairview fell apart, so they gave you.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
They gave you the Great Plains. The new where ASHL used, so that's a beautiful brand new rink, and they were supposed to have a permit for a restaurant, but they just haven't put one in. So, I mean it's just not a thing in beer league games. But I've been to tournaments where like a beer league tournaments where the concession was open. I went to a tournament in Boston, and they served lobster rolls and clam chowder out of their. Yeah, it was like full service.
Have that before a game.
No. Hey, I did it.
After?
After, absolutely.
I played it in the middle of 7 games in one day. I had a 3-hour break, and I went and had clam chowder. And I paid for it, but that might have been the 7 games. But yeah, that's probably the best concession stand or restaurant inside of a rink. Like whoever would think you'd be like, oh, here we go. One in Chicago had like Chicago hot dogs and deep dish pizza at where the Blackhawks practice. Chicago hot dogs are.
What's a Chicago hot dog?
It's just got like the little seeded bun with like onion powder or something and a pickle on it.
It's got like sport peppers, pickles, a whole bunch of stuff. I don't eat them because I don't.
That sounds bomb.
Peppers.
Yeah, it is bomb.
And no ketchup. The whole thing in Chicago is you don't put ketchup on a hot dog.
I do it. I eat ketchup. Just like I eat ranch in Buffalo. I'm putting ketchup. If I want ketchup, I'm going to eat some ketchup. But let me tell you about the real place in Chicago to get your hot dogs. Portillo's. Portillo's is fucking bomb. I would eat 6 of those hot dogs right now. But the key to Portillo's is you have to wash it down with the chocolate cake shake.
There's an entire piece of cake in those milkshakes.
They put a piece of cake in the milkshake, mix it around, and it's literally, I was like, well, I better double up on my insulin or I'm going to be paying the price. I forgot my insulin at the room, but it was so fucking good. I drank it anyway and then hustled to my room and got the insulin. But so good.
I just have one word to say about all of that. Murica.
Hell yeah.
Very America.
Hell yeah. Hey, listen, I like ice cream. I like cake. I like chocolate cake shake.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing wrong with it, like, at all. I fully support all of those things. It's interesting, though, like, you know, being a Canadian and then traveling to the States and stuff like that, like, portions are just like, you're like, wait, I'm supposed to eat this? And I like to fucking put it back, you know? And I'm like, I'm supposed to eat all this? Like, what?
Yeah.
It's also, like, super Midwestern, too.
Yeah,
like, if you head out to California, very different vibes and very different, like, food scene. But here in the Midwest, just
they load it up.
in cheese, gravy.
Oh, white gravy is, whew. Hey, also, just pointing out, our listeners are commenting on my hoodie. These are the new sample camo hoodies I got because we're doing military appreciation tournament. So we're gonna get some camo gear out there just to let those guys know we're supporting them, we're behind them. So I decided I found these samples of these hoodies and I said, let's see what it looks with a BLPA logo on it. And it says right there, it says for the game, for the beer. So this is where it's at. So yeah.
Nice. Speaking of restaurants, we said something in our little podcast host group chat.
Oh, fancy.
That ruffled some feathers, Nick.
Well,
we're talking about tipping.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. I went to a fast food restaurant, Popeyes, as a matter of fact, here in Calgary. We've got a couple of them here. We're expanding the American stuff into Canada. We got some Popeyes, get some nice fried chicken with little spicy tenders. But then I went to pay, and we have debit machines where you can tap. You have to insert your card, do your numbers. You can't tap at these places anymore. And I was like, why can't you tap? And they were like, well, because then if you do tap, we can't have the tipping option. And I was like, why the fuck am I tipping at a fast food restaurant? And it just set me off. Like, it just set me the fuck off. And listen, I didn't say anything to them. Like, I know it's not their thing. And it's something that grinds my gears. It's the same way when I go to a restaurant and they print out my receipt. And at the bottom of the receipt, they give me percentages and what each tip would be. And I'm like, motherfucker, you don't think I don't know how to do math? You don't think I have an iPhone where I can go on and put, here's my bill, 10 or 15% of that? And so then that got me into thinking of, now I'm just mad that I even have to tip at regular restaurants. And I wanted to get y'all's thoughts on that. I've never been a server myself. I'm not saying that it's easy to be a server. But what I'm saying is that if I go to a restaurant, that should be into the price, one. And two, I shouldn't be shamed if I don't think that my server deserves a tip. Like if I got shitty service, if I didn't get a refill, if my drink said empty, if I asked for some fucking ranch and they said, no, we're only going to give you blue cheese, you know? What's that?
Happened to you before?
What? Has
that happened when someone can only give you blue cheese and not ranch?
They tried and at Duff's in Buffalo, but I knew that I snuck my own ranch in, so fuck them. But there has been times where I've asked for ranch and it just never came. And so it's like, okay, well, if they're not bringing, and I understand people are busy. I get it. And I'm not saying I didn't leave a tip, but doesn't mean that I can't be angry and irate and question the cultural customs of the land I was born and reared in. So what do you think? Like, am I just crazy? Like, am I just an asshole because I think maybe sometimes I shouldn't have to tip people?
Well, I think like, number one, if you can't afford to leave a tip, you shouldn't be going out to eat. Like at a sit down restaurant. That is like number one above anything else. I understand though, that your argument is you're questioning the culture around tipping.
Has nothing to do with me being able to afford it. I'm not saying, hey, I'm not tipping you because I can't afford it. I'm saying I'm not tipping you because, one, I think it's stupid, and you chose to work in this industry. Your restaurant should charge enough to pay you a decent wage. Like, I run hockey tournaments. People are paying the registration. I'm not emceeing and they come up and say, hell yeah, way to fucking do it, bud. Here's $10. I wish they would, but they don't. But on the other side it's not affordability. It's if I don't feel like I was given service, and that's what a gratuity is. Like, I feel you should be rewarded for exemplary service, not even just average service, like exemplary, good service. I felt valued.
But I feel like that's when you tip above, like,
beyond,
acceptable minimum tipping. Yeah. And you're giving that, like, base tip to help that server and other people in the restaurant reach minimum wage, because most servers are not making minimum wage, which is a problem in itself.
And I know that's not, so here's my 2 cents. Like, I know that's not your problem, but just to top up on what you first said there, It's not about not being able to afford it. It's that like when you go to a restaurant, you just have to have the mindset that like whatever that number is on the menu, you're paying more than that regardless. Like that's what they say, but it's kind of like, so I work in sales, right? For like my day job.
Yep.
And like I have a base salary and then I make a commission. And so these servers are incentivized by tips to be good at their job, to be prompt in their service and all that stuff. So it's like their commission. So it's like you're basically like keeping them afloat. So, but it's up to them to like earn that, I guess.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I don't agree with it. I think it's absolute shit because I think that servers go through fucking hell and back, not to mention like the restaurants that make women wear skirts and heels and then their fucking feet are bleeding at night. And it's just like ridiculous. I don't think it's right that they don't do it, but that is how it is. And so that's just kind of how we have to look at it. That being said, I also will not tip very well, if at all, if my service is fucking trash, because like, come confront me about it. I don't give a fuck. I'll tell you how terrible you are at your job.
What about takeout?
I also agree with you with like the fast food thing and like coffee shops and stuff. Like or if I'm getting like a Subway sandwich, I'm not gonna
tip you. I'm not gonna tip you
$2 on top of my $5 sub. I'm here because I wanted a fucking $5 sub.
Yeah.
Well, what about takeout
and
food?
Those people are making minimum wage, like at least.
And exactly, they are making minimum wage, and those are like starter jobs for people that are just getting out of high school or whatever. That like you kind of learn to move up the ranks from there. Like it's different.
Well, I want to. I'm trying to bring something. What's the thought on tipping when you do pick up takeout food at a restaurant? And I know a lot of it here is they kind of had to do takeout. I get that, but I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
So I actually, I haven't ever been a server or worked in the restaurant industry, but my sister has. So she worked at an Earl's. And so regardless of where the order is going, whether it's inside the restaurant or out, they have to tip out 6% to the kitchen. So if you order a $15 meal from that restaurant and you call in and you order it and you go pick it up and you don't tip, 6% of what your tip like would have been on that has to come out of that server. Whoever just answered the phone or like rung it through, it comes out of their tips at the end of the night.
That is awesome. So the people in the back aren't making minimum wage? Like people in the back aren't making minimum wage either?
I don't know.
How
exactly.
the fuck are restaurants getting away with this?
Depends.
I think it depends. Obviously, like the head chef and shit is definitely making more, but like, yeah, maybe a bus boy or girl would maybe not be making minimum wage.
So now here I have to tip now when I take takeout because now I'm costing this person money. Like you say, do you have to tip out on this?
What do you guys have to tip out? I say, what do you have to tip out here? And a lot of the time they'll be like, oh, we don't. And then I'm like, I don't feel bad about not tipping if I'm just picking it up because I'm still supporting the restaurant.
Right.
But if they're like, oh, it's 5%, I'll always put 5% on top because I'm not like, they're still doing me a favor by making my food. So I'm not trying to like gyp anybody. You know what I mean?
100%. That's interesting. I want to talk, maybe there's not any much more to say. I think we gave our thoughts, but the people are asking for us to explain something to them. So I want to explain it real quick. People are talking about in the chat for our live video, they're talking about our draft experience tournaments and they told us what is a draft experience. And so I'm a man of the people, so I want to give the people what they want, except for the man that made fun of my flat brim hat. Fuck you. I don't care what you think. I wear what I like. I'm not making fun of you because you look like a fucking back home hick with a fucking
Nick, okay?
You know? But anyway, the draft experience, literally the number one greatest experience in beer league hockey and soon to be beer league lacrosse maybe. But anyway, beer league hockey. But basically why they're so incredible is you don't have all the rigmarole and the negative stuff that goes attached with team tournaments. You don't have to deal with dickbag sandbaggers, except for Big Dad. He is one of those, even though he's in the ring around. You don't have to deal with assholes on the ice. You don't have to deal with finding your own team. You just show up. We make the teams by beer chugs. The fastest beer chugger gets to pick first in the next round. And then you play 5 games. We get all the refs together. We do the stats. We do everything. We provide jerseys. We provide socks. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. And we just have a good time. And I think the best part about it is the draft party because you get to meet so many like-minded individuals that are just there to have fun, play hockey, love the game, love you, and you're not going to have to worry about going in the corner and getting blown up by some dickwad. Number one rule, don't be a dick at these tournaments. So if you are in with that, you can be in with our crew. You come play in a draft experience. They're really fun. We have a ton of them. Like I said, Ann Arbor's next in March, and then Omaha, and then we have Colorado Springs, Vegas, and then it goes on and on and on and on and on, like P. Diddy.
Like if you've ever organized a team, like an adult hockey team for a tournament, you are going to be super excited about this because it's like wrangling wild monkeys to try and get people to commit, to try and get cash, like all of that crap, and then hope everybody actually shows up. 100%. Unless you have wonderful people around you that like are paying on time and showing up and responding to emails really promptly, which I doubt
that doesn't happen often.
Like,
I mean, look at Kara. She's up there thinking, that's me. That's what I do. I don't respond to emails. I don't pay on time. I just...
Me?
Yeah. See? She's just up there just thinking about that in her head.
Who's chirping who now? I do not respond to emails, but I do pay on time.
Okay, perfect.
That's because I don't read emails because I don't... Like, I got ADHD. I got a fucking attention span of, like, that long. So... Okay. Tell me something real quick and real concise. Don't give me a fucking long email about it.
Well,
sorry.
Just so you know, the draft experience, number one experience in beer league hockey. Second best experience in beer league hockey, the BLPA Bash. And we've got a couple of those coming. Columbus, Laurel, Maryland, Madison, Wisconsin, Las Vegas in October, and we're working on a few more. So hopefully you'll come to a draft. Whoever was asking about it, hopefully you'll come. Your first beer is on me. So, all right. So do we have anything more to talk about with tipping? Like we're basically on the same page. We shouldn't tip at fast food joints. Takeout, we should only tip if they have to actually tip out for taking our order. And we don't tip if they give us poor service. That's we're good?
Pretty fair, yeah.
And restaurants
don't tip, like, depending. It's a sliding scale, right? Like if it was absolutely horrendous, I'm not going to tip. But if it was just like I wasn't impressed, but like I got my food and it was whatever.
Yeah.
It's just on the low side,
listen, well, listen, I don't know how restaurants are getting away with this. It seems illegal. And we would never do anything illegal or wrong. And if we do, we're sorry. But next, let's talk about some NHL stuff, because this is something that is interesting as we go along.
Well, yeah, actually, this reminded me. You mentioned you played 7 games in one day. And
Hell yeah, I did.
At this, which very bold choice.
I live on the edge.
The Keith Yandel Iron Man story.
Bush League. Hey, that's why the Florida Panthers are literally the beer league team of the NHL, because they Bush League their players. Just like, didn't they Bush League their coach a while back? They fired him and then wouldn't even get him a Uber or taxi. So he's out there in the fucking front trying to hail down a taxi or something like that. I think so. Wasn't like Mark?
That's ridiculous.
Wasn't like Bergevin? Wasn't before Bergevin was in Montreal? He was in Florida. I think so. It was something about that. But you know what? These guys are professionals, and they put their body on the line each and every game. And then to like, do the Florida Panthers have a player that can replace Keith Yandel? No, because they're dog shit trash. They have Alexander Barkov. They might still have Vincent Trocheck. And outside of that, what do they still have? Luongo? Maybe. It's crazy.
There you go.
So, and maybe, yeah, I don't know. I
just think that's like dog shit. Like, let the man play. He scored his 100th goal that game too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were gonna healthy scratch him, and then he shows up and scores his 100th goal. Like, and he showed up that game and played.
And isn't he only
Let's explain the controversy for anybody who might not know that's listening. Let's explain what's Bush League about this.
Well, he's
want to take it, Nick?
Yeah, he's the acting Iron Man. I don't remember how many games he has, but isn't it like 800 and something games?
866 or 877?
And
I think this was like his 867th game.
And he only needs, like, he's fairly close to the record, where if he can keep this going, he can break the record for the longest consecutive games played in NHL history. And to have some dickbag butt baby coach say, hey, listen, we're going to sit you even though we know you're close to 100 goals and you're the leading Iron Man is Bush. It's just bullshit. It's Bush League, beer league bullshit. And now I hate the Panthers. 100%. I hate the Panthers.
Did they actually sit him though? I
No,
feel like
they didn't.
I was going to say like they didn't, but they were just
It was like all the way up to the game. That's what was going to happen, and then boom, he's on the ice.
Yeah,
and absolutely like has quite a game. Like it's not like he sucks and they're like gonna healthy scratch him because he's like not doing anything on the ice. He's not performing, whatever. Like he's out there performing.
Let the man play for fuck's sakes. But it's good that he did play and score his 100th goal. That's like a big old fuck you.
Yeah.
And here's the story that I want to bring up about the Florida Panthers. They literally left head coach Gerard Gallant on the side of the road on Sunday night, firing him and forcing him to call his own taxi as the team bus departed for the airport without him. So
that must have been a really awkward fucking taxi ride.
You're just like, hey, get out of here. We're leaving. You just get out on the side of the road and call yourself an Uber. That's just the Bush League shit that the Florida Panthers do. We should expect it. All right. The only organization worse ran than the Florida Panthers right now, Edmonton Oilers. Straight up dumpster fire. Like they are so how do you have Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and are that bad? It is absolutely mind blowing.
It's absolutely mind blowing.
And this isn't because I'm a Calgary Flames fan. It's a little bit because I'm a Calgary Flames fan, but it's a lot of it because they're just fucking straight up trash.
I think we're also seeing like the trashiest start to a season overall for all teams.
Nope.
Like they're in a tough spot to start off and like
wow. We're having a great actually the Flames are going to go 55-0-1. We're on that pace right now. We're fucking killing it. Stanley Cup champions of the world. I'm here for it. I've been a fan long hard years. Long and hard. And here I am, ready for it.
I think the reason that Edmonton is like holds themselves such a high standard is because obviously like back in the Gretzky days and stuff, like, you know, they were so good, and it's just like you can't just keep going at that, like you guys aren't here anymore. So yeah, and anyways,
well, you can't treat yourself like you're up there. Like you need to know where you're at so you can build back up if you're not
like
there.
At what point over the last 15 years would they realize that they are back as an 80s powerhouse team? Never. That's what
I'm saying. Exactly.
Like they're literally an AHL. They are an AHL. They should do relegation in the NHL. Hey, if you're as bad as the Oilers, boom, now you're an AHL team. We'll get whatever. We'll get the Wheat Kings to jump up and play in the NHL this year. And you know, it would
suck to be one of those star players on that team though, right? Like right now, like it would suck to be McDavid and like you're not fucking winning. You're so good. You are so purely fucking talented, and you work so hard, but your team is fucking trash.
I feel like that
Jack
all the time.
Eichel, and he was super vocal about it after last season.
But you know, O'Connor has 100 million reasons why he's not too upset. You know, he's got his old lady designing a house. Looks like, you know, a stock house you'd see in any kind of magazine. Nothing special, but we had to make a big to do about it up here on TSN. Whoa, what a house! Look at that. He put some kind of 80s film star on his wall. Wow, Connor McDavid, such class. But anyway,
he's gonna get to Gretzky levels with you, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's going that way.
Scumbag. Yep. You brought him up, not me. But speaking of the Uber story,
I don't owe the bucket for that.
Hey, speaking of the Uber story, you guys got any crazy Uber stories? Let's hear them.
Well, I was telling you guys about the one, but that's for like the after dark. I cannot.
Oh no, let's do an after dark one to tease it.
Good tease.
Yeah, let's tease. Let's do the after dark. Let's do an after dark one to tease the after dark, and we'll say it's fictional. This is a made up story.
No,
we'll say it's fiction. We're live right now, but
no one's watching.
No one's watching. I can't put this on the internet. I can't do it.
Oh, this is Sarah Kayella. You don't know her. Corporate world. Put on that fucking mustache we were talking about.
Yeah. Your American mustache.
I'm ready to talk about it now.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Wait, when did this other American join the podcast?
Yeah, wow. Sarah Kayella.
Okay.
So weird.
We're ready to go.
You look like Bob from Bob's Burgers.
I know, I'm trying to. Actually, I'm going for like Magnum PI.
Okay.
Ooh, very classy.
Well, let me tell you about the time an Uber driver almost shit himself in the Uber. He might have shit himself.
Yes, please tell us about that.
But let me tell you, I was in probably the best city in the United States, my most favorite city in the United States, Boston, Massachusetts. I had been partaking in some of the local festivities, which means you're down, in the historical district there, getting drunk at an Irish bar. Drank a lot of Tullymore Dew that night. Got beat up.
As one does.
Got beat up in an alley. Got the shit kicked out of me, as a matter of fact.
Wait. Put a pause on the Uber story. I want to hear the story about you getting your ass kicked in an alley.
I don't really...
Wait, I have some fight stories too. Let's talk about that next week.
Yeah, listen, I don't really remember what happened, but I remember I was getting stomped on in an alley. But at the end of it, I thought it was funny. I remember laughing with my friends about it. But I remember waking up the next day and it hurt. But nonetheless, so we were at Hennessy's. We were watching the karaoke. We watched some people karaoke. I made some friends with some people over in Ireland. Cause this is out when you could go to bars and make friends with people. And then we Ubered home. And on the way home, we're like, hey, Uber guy, can you stop us by Taco Bell? And he's like, yeah, I can. And I'm like, okay, cool. That was a weird way to react to that question, but okay, cool. So we get in the Taco Bell and he's just like, come on. And we're like, what? Like, settle down. Like, we're in a drive-through. He's like, but they're not answering us. They're not answering us on the thing. And so we're like, all right, well, we sat there for a couple minutes. We're like, drive to the window. And so we knock on the window and they're closed. And he was like, hey, I know you're closed, but can I come in and use the bathroom? And as a man that's shit himself before and has been in many close calls, I knew what was up at this point. And I was like, oh, this guy's gotta shit himself. He's gotta poop. I get it. Okay. So where do we gotta go? So they would not let him go in. And so we're driving. So he's like, okay, it's okay. We're close. So we're driving and he's like sweating and he's swaying and he's like, come on. And then it starts to smell. So I'm pretty sure the guy shit himself at this point, but we kept driving and we were on this, I don't know where in Boston we were, but we're driving and it's 2 lanes going each way, but there was a middle divider. It wasn't a highway, but it was, I guess, a freeway, I guess. There was a middle divider. All of a sudden, this guy pulls into this little lot on the side of the road. He says, keys are in the ignition, please don't steal my car. And he poop waddles across the highway, jumps over this place, like, ooh, gets over that median, and then runs into the gas station. And we literally sat out there for 30 minutes crying, bawling. We were so fun. It's so hilarious. And he gets back. And we're like, are you okay? He's like, turtles were bumping the log, or turtles were bumping cloth or something. And we're like, all right, but you made it. He's like, we made it. And as a thank you, you know what he did? He found us a Taco Bell that was open and bought it for us.
Oh,
that's really nice.
But it smelled. It smelled in his fucking car. And that car smelled so bad on the way before he pooped.
Only imagine.
And maybe he didn't poop in it. Maybe he didn't poop in his pants. Maybe it was just gas, but it was something else for sure. And hey, listen,
did you at least roll down the windows while you were waiting for him to come back so you could hear it out? We were outside laughing, rolling around. But he left his car running. Like, we could have taken off with his car, taken a little joyride, but we were nice, respectful people.
You didn't even think about that.
No,
his mind was like,
yeah. He didn't. Yeah. No, he told us not to steal his car. Like, he knew, but I guess he was just like, I gotta go.
Right.
Wait, when you get to
risk it.
I don't know if you've ever been to that point where you've kind of relegated yourself to the fact that you're probably going to shit in your pants as an adult. All logic goes out the window. You're just trying to get to where you need to go. And so
she gone.
Yeah. And so that's the time the Uber driver shit his pants. And it was hilarious. I woke up the next day. I drank so much Tullymore Dew. I woke up the next day. And here's what's weird. Obviously, I hurt because I got stomped on a little bit. But I felt fine. And I took a shower. And then after I got out of the shower, that's when my hangover started. And it was a bad one.
That's weird.
I took, the walking tour of Boston, the Freedom Trail. I puked at every single historical monument in Boston that day. Puked on top of the Green Monster at Fenway. And then I ended my night. We went to some restaurant. We parked in a parking garage. I'd been drinking Gatorade all day because I got to get those electrolytes. Those lights will save you. But they didn't on this day. But I drank so much red Gatorade, and we were stopping to get something to eat. I'm like, okay, I feel okay. I'm going to get out and get something. I took 3 steps in this parking garage, puked everywhere. It looked like blood because it was red Gatorade. And I just told my friends, I'm just going to stay in the car and sleep. You guys have a good dinner. and got woken up back at the car a little while later, and that was when I fell in love with Boston. You know.
So can you drink red Gatorade now?
Yeah. The only thing I can't drink from my exploits now is energy drinks for like vodka Red Bulls or Jaeger bombs. And that's simply because I mixed so many energy drinks one night doing different Jaeger bombs and vodka Red Bull that I just can't, and I'm old and my heart will probably explode. But I had a night. I had a night with energy drinks. Like we fooled around. We fornicated, me and energy drinks, but then that left me and broke my heart. Yeah, left me and broke my heart, and I said never again. And I haven't touched one. I haven't touched one since, except for when I was in Salzburg, Austria, and they had some special edition flavor, and a guy that was on my team for the tournament worked there, and he brought us these, and that's the only time. That's the only time. And I do want to say Baja Blast is the bomb. The sugar free is the only way to go because I would die doing the other stuff, because if I drank the full sugar Baja Blast, I would never stop drinking it. That's how good it is. But anyway.
It is really good. Okay, so I have like a vivid memory of a grape juice puke from like elementary school that I still can't drink grape juice because like that memory is so vivid. Something about people puking things up near you when it has like a strong like, oh yeah, that you just drank X or like just ate X, like it sticks in my memory and I just can't. So I feel like for me, if I was in that situation, red Gatorade would be absolutely off the table forever.
I've never really been like that. Like I know my wife, like she Opa, like she used to love Opa, and then she got food poisoning from tzatziki sauce, so now she refuses to eat it, and I'm just like, but I love it. I love that stuff. I love all the spices and sauces, and yeah, she's definitely in that thing, but I mean,
so if you eat it and she doesn't, can you kiss her?
No.
Or is she like,
I don't.
hell
She
no?
doesn't let me kiss her at all anymore. I'm married, long time.
It has nothing to do with what food easy.
Yeah, that's nothing to do. But here's the deal: is that it's any of the thing that smells. If it smells like it, she can't stand it, right? And for me, it's just never like. Every time I eat pizza, I eat till I'm sick. And I always say, it's just like when I drink to excess, I always say, well, I'm never going to do that again. But I did it again tonight. Like I haven't had pizza in probably a month and a half because I've been on keto. And today I was like, I feel like a pizza. So I went to Little Caesars and got that thin crust pepperoni, ate the whole goddamn box. And I was like, why did I do that? Like I knew that was going to happen, but I keep doing it. It's just, that's what I do.
Interesting that Little Caesars was like the pizza
it was just quick. I wanted to do Papa John's. I wanted to do little PJs. Because I like I like that garlic sauce they give you to dip your crust in. But we were in a hurry. My little guy's on day 2 of not having an afternoon nap, so he's going to bed like at 7, and he wasn't gonna wait till 6:30 or whatever to eat, so we just grabbed it. But hey, what's up, Pecky boy? He's in our chat. Everyone's
Doesn't Little Caesars have like the same garlic dipping sauce pretty much that Papa John's has?
I don't know.
I thought so.
I would never blaspheme Papa John's by comparing it to Little Caesars, but I will show you what Little Caesars has on their box, which is why I like it now.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, a little Zamboni.
All their boxes have a little Caesar just carrying a Zamboni. I like Rome. I like hockey.
Trish,
it works for me.
Do you have Uber story? Like a crazy Uber story?
No, I mean, my only like relatively interesting Uber story was like trying not to puke on like a drive of shame home, and I had my dog with me too, so I was like, okay, trying to compose myself and not puke, and also trying to keep my dog calm because he doesn't do well in the car, and I was like, it was the worst.
Why would you take your dog out to get drunk?
No, it was like I mean,
okay, I'm just curious.
I just like he was a puppy and I didn't want to spend the night.
Hey, do you guys have your phones on you right now?
Spend the night somewhere.
Like, are your phones on you right now? What's your Uber? What's your Uber rating?
Oh, I don't even have the app on my phone.
Let me see what your Uber rating is there, Kara. I'm just curious.
All right. Speaking of that though, Trish, you're right. I have had many Ubers, no dog in the car. However, like window down, like no matter what time of year it is, it's fucking -40 here, window down, and I'm just like,
yep,
eyes closed, like, okay, you can make it.
You don't want that like $200 cleaning fee. Like,
I don't think I've puked in an Uber. I've definitely been in an Uber when like a girlfriend has puked, And then they stop and they're like, get the fuck out. And you're like, there's nothing there. As you're like shoving it in. Like, there's nothing there. It's fine.
It was dry heaves.
Jacket's a goner. Cover it up.
But I was thinking about what my Uber story would be. I came up with a good one. I forgot about this. This was like, I don't know, not that long ago, maybe like a couple of years ago. Me and one of my girlfriends were like drinking some wine, and we had smoked a little bit of weed. Again, it's legal in Canada. Don't at me.
And we don't do things that are illegal, and if we do, we're sorry.
Exactly. And we were heading downtown to go for some drinks pre-COVID. Tear. And yeah, and so we get into the Uber, and I guess we must have just absolutely reeked like weed. Like, we did smoke a lot before we left, but like, we must have just absolutely reeked. And so he was like, oh, like, you guys been blazing? And we were so high. So we were just like laughing our asses off. We're like, yeah. And then, yeah, so then we're like almost downtown, and he's like, hey, it's cool if you want to pay me in weed instead. Ooh. And we were like, what? And he was like, yeah, like, I don't know, you guys want to hang out and blaze? And we were like, you want to, like, okay, people can smoke and drive. Like, I can have a couple glasses of wine and drive, or a couple drinks and drive, whatever. But like, I don't have a good enough gauge on like my marijuana limit that I can drive. And like, also, I'm a fucking waste of space. Like, I just like totally veg, and my brain is like gone. Anyways, I was just like, I understand that a lot of people can do that, but like, you shouldn't be talking about the fact that you want to be like fucking driving your Uber and smoking weed at the same time with us. Like, I reported him. I was like, fuck you, dude. Like, that's fucked up.
Did you hang out and blaze with him?
Oh, that's super irresponsible.
No, absolutely not.
Hey, you know what? I'll blaze and drive all the time, but it's a different. Mine's Blaze Pizza. The best pizza in Calgary is actually good. Blaze Pizza. Okay, so good.
It's not that good. Oh, my Uber rating is 4.78.
Oh, you are a trash rider. Oh, you're a trash. What do you think yours is? What do you think yours is, Trish?
Mine's probably like a 4.8. Let me download.
Yeah.
Hold.
Yeah, you guys want to know
something else?
You guys want to know what mine is?
No, it's probably like a 4.94 because you've taken 2 and they've rated you
no
5 both times.
No, my rating 5.00. 5 stars, baby. I Uber all the time. All the time do I Uber.
Can we? How do you see how many rides you've done?
I don't know. I've taken a shit ton of Uber. Let me give you a whole tutorial on how to stay 5 stars. Okay? 5 stars. Here's what happened.
Tell us about it.
The first thing you have to do when you get in is you have to say, hey, how are you doing today? I hope your day's been going great. Hopefully it hadn't been too bad. And then they'll usually make some small talk. And you only have to say one or two more other things to them. All right? You gauge on what they say to you. And if they say, oh, it's been a long day, be like, man, that sucks. Your job has to be horrible. I respect you so much for what you do. And that's usually it. And maybe they'll make small talk. I'm a talker, so I'll talk to them all day. I don't give a shit, right? But the key is when they drop you off, no matter what you do, you always say, hey, you got a tip coming. 5 stars for you too. And they'll always say, yep, you too. Boom, 5 stars every time.
That's where it is.
You have to plant the seed. All right. You have to let them know you're getting 5 stars. And because I'm giving you 5 stars, they feel that they have to give you 5 stars.
Like a lot of people, and like speaking of dating and stuff, like a lot of guys on their dating app will be like, oh, I have a 4.98 Uber rating. And I'm like, are you trying to flex? I don't really understand why it's important to have a 5-star compared to like say a 4.78. Like, I know that you're like, ooh, that's trash, but like really, that's not that bad.
Well, listen,
you know what I mean?
If anyone's gonna flex,
like, not an asshole.
If anyone's gonna flex, it's gonna be me. And I want to find these motherfuckers that are trying to flex with a 4.98 because I'm gonna flip my big old thing out and say 5 stars, baby. Read them and weep. That's what I would do. Not to girls.
Okay.
Not to girls.
I also think it's like we have very different Uber experiences because like I get into an Uber like single female alone, like if I'm not with friends, like I'm going to kind of be a bitch because I don't want to connect,
or you're going to be on your phone.
I say that like, hey, I'm going to be taking calls or like doing work, so I don't want to talk because I don't want to engage.
I think that even if you didn't engage, I think that my tutorial would still work even without the front end. The front end is just me being polite. I wonder
how we can like test this. Like, I wish I could like.
We'll start a new Uber account.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should start a new Uber account and then
here's and people even ask about me. They'll say it. They know if you're a 5-star and they'll say, oh, you're a great rider. It looks like, and I'm like, yeah, I am. I have great drivers. You know, just
and okay,
like
this
that.
is interesting because like sometimes, say for like on like TikTok, for example, there'll be like the funniest video, but if it's got like 10 likes, I'm less likely to like it than I am to like something very similar that's also made me laugh that has, say, 100,000 likes. Because you're like, oh yeah, this is popular, people like it, so you like click it. I feel like it's kind of the same thing. If somebody sees that you have a 5-star,
yeah, who's going to be the one to break
they
it?
already have the high expectation, and then they're like, oh yeah, he was great. And then you say that 5-star comment, and then they're like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
You know?
As for me, social proof is a thing. Social proof is a driver of a lot of things, especially like being a creator myself, just like you. Like I go through the same things. So I try to, if something I like, I just press the star or the heart anyway to let them know I like it, because I know how hard it is to try to get people to consume your content. But you're right. Social proof is huge. That's why you have people that buy likes and buy followers and do all that stuff, because social proof is a huge thing. There are a lot of people that say, oh, that is funny, but not enough people like it, so I'm not going to like it. But
Which is just absurd. I
because
agree with
humans,
you. Like,
we're
that's
stupid.
funny, I'm going to fucking like it regardless.
We're stupid. As human beings, our brains are weird. They're scumbag brains. Most of our brains are scumbags. That's nothing wrong with that. Just the way of the world, right? And so, I get it. But that is a good Uber story. But I think you should try. Let's get that 4.78 up. Let's see if we can. Let's make a goal for this next year to 4.85 and try just using. You don't have to do the small talk on the front end. You just have to, when you leave, be like, "Hey, I had a great time. Thank you very much. 5 stars."
Well, it's interesting because I do the small talk on the front end and in the middle. Like I feel like I'm very polite. However, a lot of the time, I'll call the Uber. So I like to organize things. So like I'll call the Uber, and if like my drunk ass friend gets in with me and she is just being like fucking annoying. Like I've actually had to be like my little sister's best friend Holly. I'm like, Holly, shut the fuck up. This is my Uber. Honestly, shut the fuck up. And they
lay down the law.
Back at me and kind of is like, thanks. You know, like if they're feeling
like
uncomfortable because somebody's super drunk and just being belligerent, like it's stupid. And so my Uber rating actually went down like 0.1 because of that one.
Well, here's the deal.
So I used to be higher.
You have to be smart about it. I'm not pulling out my phone to call an Uber when I'm with a bunch of drunk dudes that I know. I'm not putting 5 stars. I'm not putting my 5 stars on the line for my buddies.
A real 5-star because I'm gonna fucking take one for the team, for my friends, for my ride or dies.
You know, I get it, but I guarantee you that you wouldn't have went down if at the end you said, "Sorry for my friend." You're getting a 5-star review and a nice little tip, and then you probably would have got 5 stars.
You know what? And I think that's what makes the difference. I think because I do say sorry, but I need to say, like, sorry for my friend. You're getting a 5-star.
I had an Uber one time.
Great call.
I had an Uber one time, and we were in Seattle, and we kind of gamed the system. Like we knew that there were only big Uber cars around, like because we were going to do Uber XL because we had like 5 or 6 people. But we did regular, and it was only $12 instead of $36. And when we got there, the driver was irate at us, just irate that we would call a regular Uber for this many people, and we're like, okay, but like you still showed up as a regular Uber, so what? Like I don't get it, right? So me and him we were arguing. Finally, at the end, I said, hey, you know what? You're right. This will not happen again. I apologize, and I understand why you're mad because you're trying to earn a living. I'll give you a big tip, 5-star rating. He gave me a 5-star rating and said I was a very gracious rider. So you got to be.
So mine finally loaded and I'm 4.97.
Able to pull this off. What are you at?
4.97.
Ooh.
That's.
But I also haven't used Uber since 2019. So.
Oh, that's. Yeah, I'm Ubering all the time.
Looks like I'm the fucking bottom of the barrel here.
I wonder
folks.
what
You're embarrassing us all, Kara.
When do they kick off? When do they kick off?
Putting a bad name on the show.
When do they kick out Uber drivers, like, or Uber riders? Like, at what rating are they like? Sorry, no one's picking you up. You're a 1 star.
I honestly don't think it really matters. Like, I think they're gonna take rides no matter what. I mean, I'm sure if you're like, I mean, how low does it have to be for you to like?
I honestly think that
they ever pick you off or like suspend you?
Right. I feel like it's there so that you want to have a high rating, just like because you want to be the best. It's so that you're not an asshole. Honestly, that's why it's there.
Yeah,
it's fair because
I don't think it actually means anything.
But I don't think it's going to deter people that are assholes.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not going to look at that and go like, "Oh, I want 5 stars, so I'm not going to be an asshole." Like, you're probably not paying attention to that if you're an asshole.
One of our listeners says Uber rating should be the new credit score. Perhaps the government will make it our new social score, which is great because I have a shitty credit score, but I have an incredible Uber score. So give me all the loans now because I got a 5-star Uber rating, good insurance rates, good cell phone, privileges, all that good stuff. But all right. Those are good Uber stories. I like Uber stories. I can't wait to one of the reasons I'm so bummed that I'm not traveling is because I don't get to take many Ubers and I don't get to get out and meet people. So I'm super stoked about, getting these tournaments going. But all right, well, hey, we've been on here a long time. We have a lot of people that are just kind of hanging out with us, and we really appreciate you guys being here. We still need you to
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we still need you to download that episode just for the numbers, for the brand. Let's go.
You're gonna want to re-listen anyway.
For sure.
Please.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Just kidding.
Hey, I love it. Hey, sex sells. I get it. So let's talk about sex stories then. Next up, okay. Would you rather? Let's go.
That's after dark. Okay.
Would you rather?
Hey, hold on. Can I just ask a question for listeners if they're going to be listening here? I want to know. We keep talking about doing like extra content, and so I was like, we should do something like that for like our Patreon people or like premium content where we do like an after dark where it's not so R-rated. It's a little NC-17-ish. It's a little above the R rating. It's just something we wouldn't want to put out that would have to be behind a paywall that it can't just be shared out there with the world. And so I want to know if people would actually listen to that. And so that's what we're working on with this group. And I know.
And also, if I got OnlyFans, would you guys subscribe to there?
100%.
That is one thing. Okay, and like I'm obviously joking, but that is one thing though, where like you just see regular women that get on OnlyFans and are making fucking bank with like a couple fans. Like a couple fans. I'm like,
listen, I enjoy naked females. I do. I love them. I love boobs, butts. I love everything about naked women. But I just don't know what pushes people to pay for OnlyFans. Because you can go I can go on Reddit and you can see, come see my OnlyFans. I got a special for you today, but then it's a naked picture of them. And I'm like, well, like you just, why would I buy the milk? Why would I buy the milk when you're giving the milk away for free?
Well, I think there's a whole part of OnlyFans where it's like you can request certain content.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think like that's kind of the niche market there.
So if you were like put like whipped cream on your toe and then like be naked and like lick it off, and I did that, and you paid me like $500 to do that, I'd fucking do that. I can't even touch my toes like standing up, but I'd figure it out.
But for $500, yeah. Hey, I'm in.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I'm a good producer.
It's also like the allure of like, okay, so if we like, just for example, talking about me, like I don't post naked photos on the internet at all, right? That's just for my Snapchat friends. But no, I'm just kidding.
No, she's not.
And going for the shock value humor here, you guys. It's clearly not working. Yeah. So like, because I don't post racy stuff because I'm like a normal chick, like I think a lot of people like that get paid to post racy stuff on OnlyFans because like that's like the only place that you see it. But for like, that specific person.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what you make, Kara, but I know you do pretty well for yourself, just because where you work and that kind of stuff. But like, if you were able to double your money and only do OnlyFans, would you do it? Would you give up your job and go do OnlyFans?
That's a lot of money. Yeah, I think I would.
See? I mean, money talks, and that's
the thing. Is like I wouldn't just do it and be like, okay, just putting this out there. Like, let's see what happens because I do have a corporate job. Like, I would need like the guarantee. Like, I'm gonna make a lot of fucking money if I,
Like,
would you get bored of it though? I feel like that would be something that'd be like fun for a minute, and then I'd be bored of it.
But like, okay, what would you spend? Love. Like maybe 2 hours making some content every day and putting it out, and then you have the rest of your day to like just fucking do whatever you want, like that, and with a lot of money, might I add.
And I just want to let you guys know, if you go to onlyfans.com/theblpa, we do have a BLPA page, but we don't work unless we get paid up front. So just throwing that out there for you guys. But really. Send us
an offer. Then we'll see what we're gonna do here.
But I guess I'm kind of like I'm in the same, but like because it's so much harder for dudes on the flip side to because obviously dudes aren't like flashing dong and making bank. I don't think. But it's like even the same.
I think honestly some are, but I just think it says common.
Yeah. I mean, but like you look on social media and like, let's just say in our niche, in the beer league world, like you have like, I don't want to call them out because what they're doing isn't bad, but I'm just saying how easy it is for them to, like, let's say Beer League Beauty. Like I'm friends with Nicole Court, but she like she has hockey skill, but she kind of went through this phase where it was bikini photos, being really racy, and you could tell the turn was, to get those, the follows and the likes and the subscribes and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's a slippery slope. Like I respect it. I'm not mad, but it's like, shit, I wish I could show a little nipple and, just zoom up the chart. Cause I would show my nipples all day, every day. It's just the way it is. But if that got me fans, I'd have my nipples out right now, to be honest with you.
It's funny because I feel like men could have OnlyFans and they would just be sitting there like reading poems to women and just talking about chivalry and like
a very opposite spectrum.
Yeah.
I think I'll do that, but I won't show my face. I'll just do like a Zorro mask. I'll just have like that little black mask, and I'll I'll read erotic poems. That's all I'll do.
Beautiful.
I won't be hitting on them. Like I'm not trying to hook up with them. I'm simply fulfilling their need to hear erotic poetry. That's
if you do that while like folding laundry or like cleaning,
ironing,
like doing the dishes,
okay, I'm in.
Then you'd be soaring.
Well, listen, I'm giving up the beer league. I'm going to do erotic poetry reading and household chores on OnlyFans. So follow
the amount
me.
of moms that are going to sign up for that.
Yeah, and that's where I also think I think I'm at a kind of still at a space where I'm behind the 8 ball because I'm going bald. And so I'd have to have that wig for that, for sure. Because I know like there is an attractiveness feature to it. And let's be honest, Yager mullet, way, way cuter than a monkey butt on the back of the head, for sure.
True. I mean, the GoFundMe is already set up, ready to go. We've discussed this.
I don't mind the bald. However, if you tossed out some OnlyFans content, maybe you'd be able to just get hair plugs. Like, who knows what the people want out there.
I think they said they're $10,000. So I was thinking today we should start a GoFundMe, not for my hair plugs, but I think it would be cool to go buy like 2 acres of land, like outside of Detroit per se, and then build 2 hockey rinks, outdoor hockey rinks that are refrigerated and they're covered. And we have a Zamboni, and all winter we just host outdoor tournaments every weekend. And then in the summer, we do like lacrosse or deck hockey, ball hockey, whatever they call it.
Ball hockey, yeah.
And I wanted to start a GoFundMe to do that. And then it would be all like beer leaguers. This would be our rink. This is our facility. Like, but I could just as easily redirect that right now and forget that idea and just do hair plugs. So either way, hey, whatever you guys are willing to pay for, I'm willing to collect money
Whatever
for.
Floats your boat. Should we get into the Would You Rather?
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should I read them?
Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, hit us.
Great.
Take the wheel.
Great, because I'm already going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. Would you rather, drum roll please, win your beer league championship or your fantasy league?
Beer league championship, hands down. I think I don't care enough about fantasy to I would rather my skill have a part in the win, and fantasy I feel like is luck and like studying, and that's not a pride point for me.
Well, that's skill. Studying is skill, and so is luck. I have both of them in spades. How much money is on the line in this fantasy championship?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, I would absolutely rather win the fantasy because I'm winning money.
Not
that I don't want to win my beer league, but
like if it's $100,
like I'm in a fantasy league right now, there's no money on the line.
Well, that's the thing. Like if it's if it's under $100 to win the fantasy league, like I like money. I like $100. That's $100 towards $10,000 hair plug treatment. But I also like winning beer league games. I don't do that often enough, and I would like to win. I've never had like a beer league, a league championship. Like I've won tournaments, but I've never won. Like I played in a lot of league championship games. Never came out the victor. So if it's under $100, I would say I would rather win the beer league. But if we start talking about some real money, I would much rather win money than bragging rights.
I'm the same way.
Back-to-back men's league champ, I will tell you, it feels pretty damn good.
Mm.
It's like at least $100 worth of good.
Whatever you say, 4.98.
Oh, is that how we're going now?
But thank you for the extra point.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna try to get a 4.69.
Oh,
hey.
Or a 420.
Hey. Yeah, I feel like I would definitely go for the fantasy league. I was just assuming that there'd be money on the line because, like, normally you buy in, it's like $20 a person or whatever. So, if you had got, 10 people or whatever, that's.
I like it. Yeah,
that's some nice cash in your pocket.
And I like
Ubers
cash in the
on the
pocket.
weekend.
Next. Wait, hold on. Let me hit.
Next.
I just want to do this.
Would you rather?
Hold on. I just want to do this. Just because I haven't got to hit any buttons.
Turn it up. Be a beauty. Listen, subscribe, rate, and review. Let's get it.
Next.
Yeah, don't let our podcast rating get as low as Kara's Uber rating. Please, only 5 stars.
5-star ratings, please.
Ooh.
All right. Next, would you rather?
Okay, next up. Would you rather? Okay, this one is interesting. Would you rather have to keep a secret that would ruin your life, or know everybody else's secrets? Like, keep your own secret that's like you would literally go to jail or die or whatever if people found out, or you knew like everybody else's secret and you had to keep it all secret.
You'd have to keep it a secret. I like knowing things. Like, I like being in the know. Like,
same. I just feel like it'd be so. Yeah, I would definitely choose that one because it would be easier.
Like, could I reference it? Like, could I make like subtle little digs at the people? Like, not saying that I know the secret, but they know that I know that they know that I know. Like that.
I don't know about that.
I love the Friends reference there.
Thank you.
Yeah, really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really know. I didn't really think that far, to be honest.
Because I'm not a very good secret keeper. I'm not good. I'm just not.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm not good at it. I'm just not.
When it's like really, really important, I keep the secret, but it's fucking so hard for me.
When I say secrets, like if it's something important to like, oh, someone's pregnant, but no one can know about, okay, I can keep that, whatever. But like presents, like when I buy presents for my wife, like I'm like, hey, I bought this present. I know Christmas isn't for 2.5 months, but I'd like to give it to you now. I just want to give it to you. I can't keep this a surprise for So I think it's.
See, that's a surprise, not a secret, though. I feel like that's a difference. And like the pregnancy thing, that's like a temporary secret because eventually people are gonna know.
That's the
thing.
There's
a time limit
like a
on
secret
that.
That's hard to keep, but you know that in like a few months you're gonna be able to talk about it. That's very different than like just keeping a secret.
Yeah. This is maybe a hard one. I think I'd want to know everyone's secrets just so I could know. So yeah. All right. Next one.
Yeah.
You too, Trish?
Yeah, I would want to know other people's secrets. I feel like I mean, I'd rather be the person that knows and like be responsible for keeping that for other people because I think I have like a stronger willpower when it's like when somebody else's stuff is on the line versus me. I feel like I'd get drunk and cry and talk about it.
I agree.
And then I'd be screwed.
I agree. I think it would get tough if like somebody else's secret was that like, something, I don't know, like illegal, and you'd have to be like, do I tell? Do I not? Like, that's what's tough about it. But yeah, I agree. Like having that on your own conscience, no, thank you. Next up, would you rather have sex with somebody who never showers?
Ooh, the old sex
or
question.
with somebody who never brushes their teeth?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm going with someone who never brushes their teeth because just shut your mouth. I don't need to kiss you. Yeah, that's fine.
Like, just like we can face away. We don't even have to look at each other. Have to be right here. Like
yeah.
You know what's fun? Masks. Let's put those on.
Yeah,
love that. COVID, y'all put a mask on.
Exactly.
Different positions. Style. It doesn't have to be missionary. This doesn't have to be missionary. Why be boring?
Exactly.
Let's spice it up. Let's spice it up.
But like when their body's nasty, like you have no choice.
Yeah, there's it's not happening. I'm like cringing thinking about it. Ugh.
Yeah, nope. Pass on that.
Wait, how many times have you guys had sex with someone and just not kissed them? Because
for some reason I thought you were just gonna ask us what our body count is. Like, how many times have you guys had sex? I was gonna be like, what the?
It's like in general.
Well, that's this is a lead-in question to that. We'll get to that body count question. But how many times have you had sex?
478, just like my Uber rating.
But no, I'm saying like
I thought you were gonna make an Iron Man joke, so I was ready for both.
Oh man, that would have been so good. Damn.
So how many? No, really. How many times have you had sex with someone and not kissed them? Because I think that's a big part of. I think you just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
at least once. Like I know for sure at least once.
Why? How?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Because you don't really care about that person.
Yeah. So
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 just a
there's no
banging-
kissing during sex, or there's just like, is there
No
like,
kissing.
leading up to it, or it's just like nothing?
No kissing.
It was just a straight
So
up.
you've never kissed this person?
I mean, later, yeah, but at this point, I had not.
Huh.
Interesting. So just
Okay.
this is a little wham bam
No
thank you
judgment.
slam.
I'm just curious. I didn't think that was.
I'm not saying that's like the norm. That's certainly not the norm, but like I
Right.
distinctly remember that being a situation, and like so for sure I've done that at least once.
But that's why I'm asking.
You know, you guys, you better say yes to this Patreon thing, because there's a lot of After Dark stories that I want to know about you,
Like,
Trish, that I want to get into.
Is this a story we're gonna hear about the wham bam thank you slam and just kind of went on your way? Like it was just in and out. Both of you got your
You'll have
thing?
to tune into
No,
After
I'm
Dark
saying,
find out.
will you tell that story on after BLP
Yeah.
After Dark? Oh,
Behind a paywall, I will tell that story.
That's what we like to call it. Hit it and quit it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm out of the game. I mean, last time I was single, MySpace top 8 friends was a thing. So
Oof. The drama.
it's 100%. It was.
Oh,
So-
man.
All right. The last thing. Where
What a
we-
time
where we
that
going?
was.
Are we fight liney cut? Is that all we got
So
left?
we all agree on that one.
Yeah, we're going up for Fight Liney Cut. I came up with these. You guys asked me to do non-hockey players.
Mm-hmm.
So these are going to be very well-known people, and this is going to be interesting. So you have to fight somebody, you have to have somebody on your line, and you got to cut somebody from your team out of these 3 people. Justin Bieber, Steve Carell, or Jim Carrey.
Well, those are all hockey players.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, they're not like hockey
like
players, but you know, they're not known for playing hockey, but they
well,
can play.
just okay. I'll go first. So just to play into this whole Nick hates goalie things, which by the way, we have a podcast that's all about goalies. A BLPA does. It's called Tindy Talk, and he said the same thing. Like, I'm surprised you wanted to have a goalie podcast on the BLPA podcast network because you hate goalies. So to play into that thing, fucking goalies, I'm definitely gonna fight Steve Carell. I feel like I could beat up every single one of those people. Like, just looking at them, like I could definitely beat
I
up.
have to say, I'm actually quite impressed that you know that Steve Carell was a goalie.
Well, listen, I know a lot of things. I know when you look at me,
I'm impressed.
you
I'm
don't-
giving you straight up kudos.
Thank you. Now here's the deal. I feel like I could beat up every single one of those people fairly easily. Steve Carell, yep. Jim Carrey, yeah. Justin Bieber for sure. But I'm gonna fight Steve Carell because he's a goalie, and I think it'd be easier because goalies aren't as good of fighters as regular people. Goalies aren't as good human beings as other human beings. So I'm going to fight the less of a human being. I would think because I know I'm going to take a lot of fucking heat for this, but I enjoy Justin Bieber's music. I like his music.
Same.
He's talented as shit.
The reason he's popular.
But you know what? Like I'm a middle-aged man now, and you know, some people are like, oh, well, you can't like that stuff. I think the guy's extremely talented, so I don't want to cut him, but I also don't want to cut Jim Carrey because he's funny as shit and he'd make me laugh on the bench. So that's this is a very hard thing.
You got 5 seconds. You got to figure it out.
I think
5.
Jim's old, so I'll cut him, and I'll stay with the Biebs. Me and Biebs rocking it, doing dance TikToks after in the locker room, singing some tunes. You know, if you like the way you look that much, you should go and love yourself. That's our TikTok jam, me and Biebs. So
Nice.
what's up from
That's
Chicago?
Tough. I am gonna fight Justin Bieber, and I don't love his music, but that's not like really the point. I just think he has a really punchable face, and I'd love to just test that out. I'd really like get my hand on that. I think he looks like a douche, and I'm like,
That's not very
he
nice.
went through a huge douchebag phase as well, and I feel like he
But
has.
didn't we all go through that phase in our life? Like,
Yeah, but he
I'm
took it a
I'm
step. He took
currently
it
in that phase of my life.
I think there's a certain point where it stops being a phase. But he was like young douchebag, like,
Well-
and got rich, and like.
Did you
also
watch his
exasperated.
that's why he was
YouTube,
the
like
douchebag.
documentary series, by the way?
I have not, but I guess I'm going to now.
Oh, you should watch it and then ask if he's paid for it. It's very interesting.
You know,
okay.
I love.
I think I'm still gonna fight him though, just because of the punchable
absolutely.
face. Like that's my.
I love those documentaries.
I'd Liney.
You'd Liney who?
What?
No, what was your question?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I really love those documentaries because you think the musician's life are so easy, and so like you don't know like the shit that they go like on a daily basis. Like it sounds really cool to be rich and famous, and I think I would do an extraordinary job at being rich and famous myself. But there are a lot of things that people don't understand, like what goes on, like everything they go through. So like while it does look like it's the easy life and they're just out there partying and banging hot chicks, like there's way more that goes into it. So
I 100%.
But there's also like such a side of privilege and like and everything that goes along with that like there's a lot of people that balance it and manage it really well, and like I think that comes with how you choose to operate and the people you choose to have around you, and I think the people that make the right choices handle it well, and the people that don't end up looking like douchebags.
Yeah, but when you get rich and famous when you're 11 or 12, like it's so like think of all the dumb stuff we would have done. You know, so like I get it. It's not an excuse. I'm just saying, like you have to grow up, and we did our own stuff. Being like I was poor. My family was poor. I was eating mayonnaise sandwiches at that time in my life, and so I think that I think that there's a lot of things that go into it. But I just when we start talking about the documentaries, I love seeing this, especially like the rappers, like where they came from, like Travis Scott, like seeing like where those guys come from and how they come up. Yeah, and how I wish I could just spit some sweet rhymes.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good point, because if you think about it, like we're not really in the public eye. I know we have like, you know,
speak for yourself.
Listening to us right
we
now.
have like 15 listeners. So
hey, what's up, guys? No, but like if you really think about it, like just being, you know, as privileged as like we all are, it's like all the dumb shit that we've done when we're drunk, or like the stupid hookups that we've had, or you know, the fights we've had with people or whatever. Like, yeah, imagine if like literally every aspect of your life was fucking aired for everybody to see and to comment on and to judge. Like, people would fucking hate me. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not a bad person. I've just like done dumb shit as a kid and whatever, right? Like it's
you're not a bad person. You're just a butt baby.
A big line between doing dumb stuff and being like disrespectful, you know? Like I think that's two different camps.
For sure. All right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sidetrack us into that. I know we've been running along here, so
it's okay.
We'll finish this.
But I'm gonna watch the Justin Bieber documentary and then I'll revisit.
Honestly, yeah, you should watch that, and then you guys watch the Tiger one. We'll talk about those next week. Okay. For me, I would also fight Justin Bieber, but I am a Biebs fan, so let's get that straight. Because he has the most clout, and like if you think about it, I'm trying to get internet famous out here, right? Yep. So it's like, if you were on the same line as Justin Bieber for like a beer league game or something like that, no one would know fucking shit about you. That wouldn't matter. I don't give a fuck. If you fought Justin Bieber in a beer league game, the whole world would know who you were. So that's why I would want to fight him, even though I'm a fan.
You're going the Jake Paul celebrity route right now.
Oh, am I?
I don't want to say, I didn't want to make that comparison, but like that's all he's trying to do right now.
But hey, I like it.
I mean, you're not wrong though, because look at him now. People actually know who he is.
And the 12-year-old. And the chick he is banging is smoking hot, smoking. I don't know if you know her.
Okay, but Jake Paul already has clout. He's already making his money from 100%. Being on YouTube and being whatever he's doing. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm literally nobody. So I think that's why I say that. However,
you went viral on that one video.
When you say it like that, when you bring it up like that, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want to fucking do that. That's. Ugh.
But I think it's different also for you to fight him at a beer league game versus like set up a ridiculous boxing match.
Right.
So
like I would never tweet JB and be like, hey man, you want to fucking fight? Like, no.
You want to like get into the corner with him.
Yeah. This is all hypothetical, of course. And we just take these very seriously. Like we're very committed to these
know
guys.
What's happening.
And then God, I love Steve Carell, love The Office, like just love him so much. But I think I'd have to cut him because I'm a big Jim Carrey fan. He's so funny. Obviously, so is Steve Carell, but Jim Carrey's he was like one of the original like funny guys in growing up, being a millennial that I resonate with and that I was a fan of. And so I feel like that would fulfill like just childhood. I don't want to say like dreams, but it'd just be fucking cool to be on the same team as him.
For sure.
Yeah. I didn't finish mine, but I have the exact same thought.
I'm so
no,
sorry.
It's totally fine. No. But I had the exact same thought because I think about the guys that I have a blast on the bench with, and Jim Carrey is that like type of humor.
Mentality. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
And so was Steve Carell, so that was tough, but I just feel like I've been a fan of Jim Carrey for longer, so
100%.
I think Steve Carell would be more of like the nice guy. Like he's gonna laugh at all your jokes, but he might not be like throwing his own jokes around. He'd be a little more reserved, whereas Jim Carrey's gonna like bust out
roast
those like
you.
weird little jokes and roast you. Yeah, it's gonna be more fun.
Awesome. All right, well, hey, that's an episode and a half, actually an episode and a half because it was 90 minutes. But hey, thanks guys for joining us, all of our live people. Remember, if you want that premium content, let us know. We're here for it. We just want to make sure that people want it. We're of the people, and we want to give the people what they want. So if you want it,
the people for the people.
Yeah, let us know. We're here for you. Our motto is we don't do anything illegal, and if we do, we're sorry.
We're sorry.
So, all right, guys. Well, hey, be good or be good at it. We'll see you next time.